process that's used to enact those policies that has troubled people. On the healthcare thing, I have to tell you, on Christmas Eve, when everybody saw this Cornhusker deal, and to basically turn Medicaid into a 49-state program exempting Nebraska, Nebraskans were embarrassed by that. They were embarrassed by it, as they should have been. And how was that fixed? Instead of just getting rid of this whole Cornhusker kickback, Harry Reid extended it to every other state. It was a bad deal. But instead of just eliminating it, they said, we'll take that Nebraska deal and extend it to all 50 states. And by the way, the new coverage on the health care law is coming in the form of Medicaid, an expansion of Medicaid. You know, right now, you go try to find a local physician who takes a lot of Medicaid. Not many do. So simply putting more people into Medicaid will not guarantee access to care. It may mean you have coverage, but it does not mean you have access. And that's where much of the expansion of coverage has been, into the Medicaid program. And now, of course, states are rebelling against that because this is a shared program in terms of the cost. And over time, that money, right now, the federal government, under the Cornhusker deal, the federal government's going to pick up most of that cost in the short term. But the states will most assuredly pick up that cost as time goes on. And if you look at what's driving state budget deficits across the country, including Pennsylvania, it's largely, and not entirely, but largely driven by Medicaid. And so now that problem has been expanded. So, I mean, it gets back to the issue of policy and process. I mean, there was a time when I was in government where I thought that, people were most concerned about the laws that were being passed, and they judged you based on those laws. But now, they're looking at the process, and they don't like it. And somebody said to me, oh, well, it's just sausage making. I said, no, that'd be an insult to sausage. I mean, this is really not fair. I mean, it's just not, they don't like what's happening here, and I understand why. And I think that is really the fundamental dynamic, I think is driving much of the frustration and anger that you're seeing around the country. Sorry, you've been waiting patiently for that.
Yes, Dennis W. Seconds of Lower Saucon. The current administration is in the process of a NATO treaty involving our Second Amendment rights. With the ratification of this treaty, it will supersede our Constitution.
You said What's a NATO treaty?
Pardon me?
You say a NATO treaty?
A NATO treaty. If this treaty is ratified, it will supersede our Constitution. What's your position on this treaty?
Well, I'd have to see the treaty you're referring to. I do support the Second Amendment, and I would certainly object to basically outsourcing our Second Amendment rights to a collective defense organization of which we are a part. So that would be my quick answer. I'd have to look at the treaty that you're referring to, but as it relates to the Second Amendment, those laws will be dictated by the United States Congress. That's where the jurisdiction should fall, not with any other organization. No other outside international organization or collective defense organization should be determining your or my Second Amendment rights.
Then why would they even consider a ratification of it?
Well, I'll take a look at I have to look at the treaty. I'm not familiar with the treaty that you're referring to under NATO that would affect the Second Amendment. I have to look at that. I haven't seen it.
I'll leave you my name and address, sir.
Oh yeah. You mean the UN?
That's right.
Oh, the UN. Okay. You said NATO. Okay.
He did say NATO.
All right. I'll take a look at it. I want to see I would have to see the specific language of this thing. But again, your Second Amendment rights, as all the other constitutional rights, should be protected by us in Congress and certainly by the Supreme Court. We should have jurisdiction over protecting those rights. So that's not even waiting patiently. Sorry.
I'm impressed by the level of emotion that people have. There's so many things you have to deal with that people are devastated by. I'm very touched by all this problem. My problem is I love Pennsylvania, and 100 miles north of here, they're drilling for gas without regulations. Gas drilling does not require any adherence to Clean Water Act. As a result, some of my people I met there in one day, 3 people have had their wells blown. They can no longer drink their own water. The wildlife is gone. I'm terrified. I wanted to move up there, and most of the land is under what you call gas rights. Leasing. And if it wasn't under gas leasing, there's a proposal right now by the gas companies that if a certain number of people in a square mile have already leased